Okay guys, today is the 12th of February and my mileage count is currently 28,414 miles. So how am I going to achieve this 15 to 20,000 miles? Because it's easy to come up with a figure like 15 to 20,000 miles this year, but how am I going to achieve that? The majority of that's going to be through rallies, which is going to take me unfortunately out of the garage. But to be honest, let's just play this through. So what I'm going to do is basically go through a lot of the rallies. I've highlighted the rallies that I would like to go to, and I'll probably end up putting a link down, more detailed than ones that I'm thinking of going into, but there are a couple of major ones there. So I want to do there's 4 mag events and they're all up in Yorkshire. I think it's North Yorkshire for the majority, maybe 2 or 3, East Yorkshire for the next one. So the first one's into the valley and I want to do that. That's on the 28th of April. So there for that weekend with the wife, so we'll ride up, do that rally, and we will then end up probably staying around the area, seeing a bit of that, going across to the Peak District and then up. We'll probably pop across to see my wife's parents, and then go up into Scotland to see our relatives up there, and probably hang around that border mark for the week. We will then come down to Cheshire and hit the NABD rally, and that's on the, I want to say that's on the 5th of May, so it's the following weekend. So we'll be hitting that rally in Cheshire, and then we'll be going home. So that's the first 2 major rallies. In April they also release there's another rally called Around the UK Rally, and this rally basically is very similar to the Maxi, I think it's the Maxi Tyre Challenge, and basically what they did a number of years ago, and I don't think they're doing it now, but they may be, and if they are, I'd be interested in going for that one. They basically come up with landmarks all around the UK, and it is into the mainland, it doesn't cross over to Northern Ireland, I don't believe. And basically they pinpoint, I think it's 20-30 landmarks all around the UK, and you basically, and they're all in hard to reach places, and they're off the beaten track, and they force you to ride the length and breadth of the UK, and that's the one I think I'm going to do the majority of my miles in. So they post the list out in April, sign your application form, send it in, they give you a number, and then basically you ride to each of the locations given on that on the agenda, which they post out to you in April, and you get points for each one you visit. You obviously have to take a photo of your application form on your bike outside the landmark, and that is how you get proof. You send it all in, I think it's in November, and then they award the points, and then you get a list and something along the lines like a certificate that you've completed what you've completed. So I've done a lot with the bike. So bike-wise, to get that kind of prepped up, I've obviously got the engine bars, I've got the sat-nav now installed. I've gone for a hard case panniers, and I did say in the video where I bought the canvas ones and I reviewed them, if I ever had the money for the hard ones, I would always go for the hard panniers. The reason is because they had that extra level of security, because they're lockable. Of where I'm at, and I did say that I've been working on the bike as well. The brakes are on now, so the rear brake is on. I ended up buying new ones for those, and I need to have a look at that wiring loom again. Not entirely happy with that wiring loom. It's in, but it's not neat as I would like. Now I don't think I'm at the point where I want to start stripping wires out, but at the same time I'm not entirely happy with it. So that bike has only got a couple of things to do really on it, and they are the big major things. The first one's a tank, which I'm working on now, and the other one's the seat. I've also got to get rid of the 125, so I'm putting the back brake. Now, like a monkey boy, I swung on the nozzle, the bleeding nozzle, and basically wrung it off, and I couldn't get it out. So I ended up doing all sorts of bodgery to that, and in the end I ended up having to buy a new one. Fair play. Cost me they're not cheap, really. They are not cheap. You're going to buy the rear block for a rear caliper block for a 125 Hollander Varadero, and they are not cheap. They are not cheap at all. So I managed to get one alright price, but I do begrudge paying it because it was my own bloody clumsiness that ruined the first one. So I've got this. I've almost got exactly the same bloody trouble. That the bleeding of the nipple is absolutely solid in there. So this time I'm doing things slightly different. I'm using penetrating oil. I'm going to put some heat in it and see if I can impact drive off that off. But that's going to be over the next couple of days. So I've got to do the brakes, put in new oil in the brakes. Brake oil in, and then I'm going to be putting that through an MOT, and I'm going to sell that one on, and that will give me a little bit of money, and that will also give me a little bit of room in the garage. So that's it really. A lot of waffling for just a quick